Hello GW and welcome to this week's headlines. I'm Willow Hasson. The confirmation process for President Biden's cabinet nominees continued this week. Just 10 of his 33 picks for cabinet or sub-cabinet positions have been confirmed thus far. On Tuesday, Tom Vilsack was confirmed to be the Secretary of Agriculture, as well as Linda Thomas Greenfield for United Nations Ambassador. Jennifer Granholm was also confirmed Thursday to be the Energy Secretary. There were also confirmation hearings this week for Biden's nominee for Attorney General, Merrick Garland, and his picks for Interior Secretary Deb Haaland. The confirmation of Neera Tanden to be the Director of the Office of Management and Budget could be in jeopardy. West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin announced he would not support Tanden, so, in order to be confirmed, Tanden will need the support of at least one Republican senator. The Manhattan District Attorney is now in possession of former President Donald Trump's financial records. This comes as part of a criminal investigation into the former president and his family-run Trump Organization. The Supreme Court rejected Trump's attempt to keep his accounting firm from turning over the records. The records include 8 years' worth of tax returns and could prove useful in the district attorney's investigation into the Trump Organization. While other recent presidents and presidential nominees chose to make their tax returns public, Trump refused. Now that Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance has a hold of said tax returns, Trump maintains that the investigation is part of the greatest political witch hunt in the history of our country. The United States has surpassed 500,000 deaths due to COVID-19. The grim milestone is the highest of any country and exceeds the number of American deaths in World War II. President Biden held a candlelight ceremony on Monday to honor these lives lost. Meanwhile, some governors have sought to ease COVID restrictions in response to the decline in the number of cases throughout January. The CDC has warned against this, however, as the decline in the number of cases may be leveling off. The CDC also cited increases in the number of cases involving new variants of the virus as cause for concern, and Dr. Fauci stated that Americans may still be wearing masks well into 2022. The FDA is expected to approve the Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine. This would be the third approved vaccine and the first that only requires one dose. While the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has lower proven efficacy than Moderna or Pfizer, infectious disease specialists say that comparison may be unfair, as the newer vaccine had to test against new variants, while the two older vaccines did not. Experts still recommend getting the vaccine as it becomes available.
On today's deep dive, we will be looking at President Biden's immigration record thus far and whether or not he has begun to keep the promises of his campaign days. From the day he announced his presidential bid, President Joe Biden ran on a platform that often stood firmly against his predecessor's policies toward immigrants. A topic of constant criticism from the Biden campaign was the cruel separation of families at the border and the inhumane conditions men, women, and children were exposed to at detention centers. As such, the Biden administration vowed to change things for the better and promised to implement new policies that would strengthen human rights for all. After 2 months in office, many are starting to wonder if these were only empty promises made in order to get elected. Most recently, the Biden administration announced it would reopen the Homestead Detention Center. Situated in Florida, this detention camp for children gained public attention in 2019 after Amnesty International published a report exposing systematic sexual abuse, poorly kept facilities, and the overall disregard for the safety and health of the migrant children. While the Biden administration has ensured that this is a result of the overflow of migrant children in other facilities and because of the consequent increase of COVID-19 infections, human rights and immigration advocates strongly criticize this decision and argue it is not the only option. The consensus appears to be that President Joe Biden is breaking his promise to change the immigration system that has hurt so many children. Most importantly, the consensus is that placing migrant children in Homestead is exposing them to even more avoidable lifelong trauma. And that is something that cannot be allowed in any administration. Similarly, while President Biden promised no deportations during his first 100 days, the Associated Press reported that in early February, 15 people had been deported to Jamaica and almost 300 to Guatemala and Honduras. While this appears to be similar to the Homestead Detention Center situation, it proves to be a fault of the judicial system and not the Biden administration. On January 26th, a Trump-appointed federal judge, U.S. District Judge Drew Tipton, issued an order that prevented President Biden's hope to prevent all deportations during his first 100 days. Scholars criticize this decision as having no actual legal merit and argue that the judicial branch does not have the power in this case. However, it still remains to be seen how the Biden administration will fight against this in order to achieve what they had ensured the people of the United States. All in all, whether President Biden has completely broken his promises to the people that elected him remains to be seen. However, while there are still a few remaining legacies of President Trump that make it more difficult to implement Biden's policies, it is clear that this administration must take responsibility for their actions. If they claim to stand for human rights and for change, they must actually prove it so as to match the expectations of the country and the rest of the world. This is Emmanuelle Dyer. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emmanuelle. On Friday, the UN General Assembly met to discuss the military coup in Myanmar. Myanmar's ambassador, Chaw Mo-Toon, spoke out strongly against the junta, calling for the strongest possible action from the international community to immediately end the military coup. He also raised a three-finger salute in solidarity with Burmese protesters. Military leaders fired Chaw Mo-Toon on Saturday for abusing his power, calling him a traitor of the state. That's all for this week. We'll see you next time.